with the Shepherd School, and today what we're going to do is we're going to make some pepper mash, okay? And the pepper mash is a mellower base for hot sauce, okay? Basically, all we're using is just salt, some lacto bacteria from sour cream or yogurt or whatever as a starter culture, and some peppers, right? And you want to use ripe peppers. Green peppers really don't have enough sugar. They really don't work as well. I've got some that I'm going to add to my mash, but I mostly have a bunch of orange habaneros, okay? And you really want to use a hotter pepper for this, but like I said, I'm going to add a little bit of green jalapenos just to add a little bit of flavor. But most of the flavor is going to come after the fermentation, where you add all your other stuff. First off, we're going to go by the big boy rules. If you do not want to wear gloves to do this, by all means don't. But when you burn the fire out of yourself, don't cry to me, all right? Now, I'm not going to use gloves, but you know, I'm also not going to complain when I end up touching my face and burning myself. But all we're going to do is we're just going to just chop up, de-seed, and chop up our peppers really small. Now you can use a blender, food processor. I've even heard of people using juicers, okay? But we're just going to use a knife because I broke my wife's blender the other day and she don't know about it yet. So until the pieces come in so I can fix it, we're just going to chop ours up, okay? And the more you chop it, the more surface area that it's got, so the better your final product is going to be, okay? So we're just going to chop all our peppers that small, okay? And about a pound of peppers gives you about a pint of mash, okay? So the more the merrier. Okay, so this is what the peppers look like, and I ended up cheating. I remembered that the wife had a little electric chopper for when she makes salsa, okay? And you have to excuse me a little bit. I didn't wear gloves, and I'm not complaining, but I have touched my nose and my face and used the bathroom, and I have burned the fire out of myself, but that's okay because I knew it would happen. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a teaspoon and a half of salt per cup of mash, okay? Now, some recipes, different people do it different ways, but some recipes say just throw the salt on top to kind of make a protective coating. But I'm going to use an airlock to do that, and so I'm not going to mess with that step. The salt pulls the liquid out of the peppers, and so I'm going to mix my salt in there. I'm also going to add about a tablespoon of sugar, which not all recipes call for, but most recipes I see call for ripe red, yellow, orange peppers, and since I've got some green peppers in there, I want some sugar to help with the fermentation. And I'm going to take a little bit of the liquid off of some sour cream. It's not 100% necessary, but using whey or any kind of liquid byproduct off of some sort of fermented milk product gets you that lacto bacteria culture. Alright, just a drop or two of that liquid. Okay, probably should use more, but that's all what's in my my sour cream there. Okay, and that just helps get it started, because anytime you're fermenting, you want to make sure that the bacteria that you want gets a good head start so that they can beat out the bacteria that you don't want. Okay, so we're going to use pickling salt. You don't want to use table salt. The iodine in the table salt can inhibit the process a little bit. So okay. And let me add a little bit of sugar. And we're going to stir that up real good. And since normally most of my fermenting containers are gallon jugs or greater, I didn't have anything that small. So what I did is I went down to Walmart and just looked around. This is a wine carafe for decanting and you know, fancy wine drinking, right? And I've got this bung here, and I figured it'd fit in right nice, just like that, okay? And so I've done just like you would with canning. You know, I boiled it and sterilized it and all that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pack my pepper in there and then put the lid on. Alright, so there's my container. Put the bung on nice and tight. Put the water in the bung, the airlock. And as this ferments, it's going to give off carbon dioxide just like making wine, right? Some folks say just put an airtight lid on it. I've seen lots of different people discussing it, but this is how I'm going to do it. And we're going to let this sit. You need to let it sit at least a month, but like I said before, we're going to let it sit several months until I just can't stand it anymore. And then we'll come back and we'll show you how to turn this into a hot sauce. So anyway, here you go. And until next time, you can always catch us online, www.tngun.com.